to, I don't know where I'm going with that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the world or anything. At the moment, I'm a little bit sort of, eh. I don't know how it is with you. Maybe it's the same. It's one of those weeks, one of those months, one of those, don't know, one of those years. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I've been either. I'm very, very confused about life. Hello, Philip. How are you? I think that the guitar's gone out of tune and I haven't tuned it for a while. Not since I strung it. I'm a bit strung out myself. But it's been a week since I saw you last. I'm okay. Well, I don't know really. To say I was okay would be a bit of an overstatement, I think. I'm sort of feeling a little bit, yeah, like we're not really there. Like everything is square. Nah, nah, fair. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, yes, I'm in a complete funk. I've just been, because I had some, like, going out of the house and doing work, even though it was a tutorial, and I go there, and the person I was supposed to be tutoring never turned up. I'm not even sure whether they're going to pay for, I assumed that since I turned up they might pay me, but I mean, I've checked and I'm like, oh, maybe not. So, but that's over now, and I've still got some work, but not going out of the house work. So I have got no reason to go out of the house at all anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm feeling very confused. The only thing I've got to do is be online, and I'm not really doing that very much anymore. The only thing that I've got to do is make videos, and I'm not making videos. I'm doing them on TikTok, and they're not getting anywhere at all. And I've stopped doing them here. I'm not making money from any of it. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. This is officially my job and I'm not getting paid for it. So what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I'm feeling very alone, and I've gone out of focus for a bit. I don't know what happened there. And I'm feeling a little bit lost and alone, and yeah, I don't know really what's going on. I've just got a message saying arranging a meeting at some point because I'm going home for Christmas, and I'm going to talk about having some sort of little mini festival in my hometown in an old abandoned church that somebody owns. That I saw it on the market and I was like, oh, that'll make a good art centre, but then somebody else bought it for not that much money. But then the trouble is everything happened and they haven't really been able to get it off the ground. So they've asked me whether I want to get on board and help, and I do, but I don't, obviously I'm here and they're there and I don't know what to do. But hopefully we'll get some, whether anybody will come to see them, we're going to get some shows in an old abandoned church. It'll be really freezing, about Easter time probably. So I just got a message while I was talking to you. Way, I'm out of my funk already. No, I'm not really, but I'm just lacking purpose. I don't know what anybody else. I mean, there's other things in the world, like the cost of living and the state of the world and the prejudice and bigotry. Anyway, all the terrible things in the world, and Twitter's falling, which is very minor in the bit. A lot of people are very upset about that. I got to be honest, I'm not really bothered. Some people, the unfortunate thing is there's a lot of people that have got their whole life caught up in that, and they are, using it for their businesses or their livelihood, and it's a sort of outlet, and yeah. No, but I know. I was like, oh, is it? Oh, well, never mind. But then other people are desperate and very sad about it, because there are a lot of people that have used that to further their life and career. So a lot of people are going to be very upset indeed. I tried to download my entire archive, which was supposed to take 24 hours, but they haven't got back to me. And somebody said that it's all going to go down by the end of the weekend. So if they don't tell me in the next 25 minutes or so whether I can download my archive, then my very deep and meaningful thoughts over the years will be lost to posterity. Lost! What tragedy that'll be like. Like Emily Dickinson in a box I'll be. But she eventually, you know, not until, or like Van Gogh. But if they're not there, they can't be found for future generations because they won't be there. The archive will be destroyed. I mean, imagine if somebody had set fire to sunflowers or buried the big box of Emily Dickinson's poems under a tree or something, and they got all rotten and waterlogged. Then that, you know, like the Blue Peter Garden, which I think I talked about last week. Yeah, like in the Blue Peter Garden. That wouldn't have been good, would it? Well, that's basically what's happened to Twitter. It's the Blue Peter Garden, and the time capsule has been destroyed by water damage and vandals. And they had to dig up all the dead dogs and tortoises. I don't know where, that's not, as a metaphor, that has got a lot to be desired, really. But yeah, I just really, this week, I mean, I've just been sitting there in a sort of a real funk. I've been playing like a little game and just feeling like merging dragons. It's like, is this my life? Is this what my life has become? I'm like, I should delete that app off my phone so that I'm not tempted to do that. And I should do some important things like writing and culture and a social life. I was thinking, I used to have a social life. I used to go out and meet things and do people. That's not exactly what I meant. That's completely backwards with what I meant. But it started coming out that way, and I thought, just go with it. Anyway, I used to go and meet people and do things, and it's just, I was thinking maybe I should go out and do touristy things in London and go every day. I was thinking, maybe I'll go and book a room in a hotel and stay in a hotel in where I'm at. But they're very expensive, and it seems a bit pointless. And breakfast isn't included in a lot of them. So it's like, well, but you know, I should really do things. Everything's so expensive. I suppose museums. You could go to a museum for free, can't you? I like museums. They are free. You can go and see everything that you can see, but most of it's been stolen from somewhere else. And I feel pretty guilty going to see things that other people should be kept in a box. Should be kept in a box in the country where they're from. Why am I going in and out of light? This guitar is making everything go wrong, and it should be going right. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so I should be also working on my focus. I should be working on my show for Edinburgh next year, and also, but I'm just not feeling anything. I'm just, I'm just like, what's going on? What's going on? At the beginning of the week, somebody said that cornflour has gone out of stock, and they stopped stocking it in Tesco. What a catastrophe! Rodri Marsden, that's the person that said it, and they picked it up in the Telegraph and Edinburgh Evening Post and all sorts of places. They didn't mention, they said a person on Twitter, didn't mention who it was, the person on Twitter that said it. It was Rodri Marsden. So I made a little TikTok about that, and that's got more views than some of the TikToks I've got, but not very many. But I found something called farina, which is made of grain, and this particular one said on the outside, it doesn't say on the actual inside package what it's made of, but on the outside box it says maize, and it's very much looking like corn flour. So even though Tesco is sneakily discontinued all the corn flour, you can still get it if you look, and it's called something else. It's very much like life. You can still find what you were looking for, but it's not where you thought it was going to be. It's a completely different place, somewhere far away from where you thought it was, and it's called something else from what you thought it was going to be. It's tricksy. Life is tricksy. So I had so many thoughts about where my life would be at this stage. Actually, I never thought this far ahead. I think I remember when I was a kid thinking, when I'm 28, I'll have a lifestyle. And I'll just imagine myself, there was an advert, like a Guinness advert or something, where somebody was, they were drinking Guinness, but I wouldn't have been drinking Guinness. For having like a white wine, I don't even like white wine, but just looking out of the window at the cityscape and going, oh, I've got a lifestyle. I'm a person about town and everything's really exciting and I've got my life. My life's all sorted. Oh, it's amazing, my life. Oh, the glamour. That never really happened. By the time I was that age, I was in London, so ostensibly I was living the dream, but I was living in a shared flat with lots of other people, you know, where you had to like get arguments about the milk and the washing up. I didn't drink milk and I did my own washing up, so there was a lot of arguments, and it was just still living like a student when I should be having a lifestyle. And I've never had one of these lifestyles. I don't know anybody that has, really. Most of the people I know that are younger and my age and older, in fact, have still got the whole sort of student accommodation lifestyle that they had, maybe thinking that they would live beyond that and aspire to better things and be like, wow, look at my life. I've got stuff. I've got everything's together. My career, woohoo. And that's not really happened. There's a few points, like I was a journalist and I was the editor of a magazine, Pojo's Pokemon and other cool stuff, for a very brief moment of time. I don't know whether I got a copy of that somewhere. And probably not. That's Empire. It definitely wasn't. Oh, look at that. A copy of I went to see that and a friend of mine was in it. Superman. Right, no, I thought I had a big box of my magazines with me in them, but no, that's not me. That's Superman. Where did the box of my magazines go? Anyway, not important. I thought that I would have a successful life. Did that happen? Well, it's not over yet, but it feels like it is. It's like, I was looking into pensions and how much I would have to pay to get a full pension, which isn't very much anyway, and it's a while in the future. But I think the chances of me getting one, also, I don't know what they're going to do with it. So, yes, I am in a little bit of a sort of, yeah. Now, I've only got one person watching me now. I'm assuming it's Philip. Thanks for sticking with me. This is it. See, this is all I've got in my life, and only one person's turned up. But I do appreciate the people that have turned up. I do appreciate that, but it's all very meh. Oh my goodness me! I wish I had a lifestyle. I wish I had a life. But all I've got is trouble and strife. And I don't mean a wife. Lifestyles, or a husband, or whatever. A gender-neutral friend. To be honest, I'm not bothered about that. Either way, somebody would be nice. Anyone. Even mice. Now that sounds awful. I don't want mice. Mice are awful. And I'm allergic to mice. So I don't want any mice. Anyway, that would be nice. That whole sort of, what sort of partner would you want if you had a partner? And I've not got a type. I tell you that for nothing. It very much confuses me when people say, oh, I only have this type of person, and they're very specifically this type of person. I'm like, nah. Yeah, not that I've really had that much experience of anyone, really, but of the people, there's not really one thing that I would say links them. They're annoying. That's the... I probably shouldn't have gone there. Is probably the one thing that links it, but that's more about me than them, probably. Anyway, the whole point is I don't really understand life, and I don't really know what I want out of life, which probably hampers what I got out of life. So yeah, and yes, I am in a massive funk, a crisis of confidence, a cri de coeur, a cry from the heart. What is going on? I don't understand what I mean. And I'm thinking, I'm sort of like in the sort of winding down stage. It's like I should have had my life and career and loves of my life and all sorts of amazing glamorous exploits by now. And I'm not sure. It's had its moments, but I'm very much feeling like it's winding down. Just like, there's not that much time left. I've left it too late. I didn't notice the time passing. But I have found that, and there was periods in my life, like 6 or 7 years, it was like, nothing's happening, and then I just, like, renewal. I think it's every 7 years, every cell in your body is a difference. It's like not the same cells as they were 7 years ago, something like that, apart from your teeth. So everything apart from your teeth is different to how it was 7 years ago. That might be slightly apocryphal, but it's more or less true. So, you know, very much like Trigger's broom or Theseus's ship. Is it Theseus's ship? Anyway, it's somebody's ship. Very much like that. You are not the same person that you were. And I very much go through that fallow period. Lots of fallow periods where I should probably have been doing more. And then I'm like, whee! And there's a whole miasma, that's not the word, a huge load of Theseus shit. Yeah, a whole load of energy. And I do things. And I'm like, this is going somewhere. I've got purpose and direction. And it all starts to fit into place, and then something goes wrong, and I'm like, and then I don't get back on the horse or the ship or the broom, and I'm adrift between Scylla and Charybdis. Yes, I've gone in the wrong way. I've gone through two difficult areas, and I am from all sides. Yes. Hello, how are you, Terry? Yes, so Philip and Terry and Fox. Let's say 3 people here. It's still only showing 1 person. Doesn't go right, does it? Anyway, people that are here later than that, hello. I can't obviously interact with you because it will be later than that, but if you're watching this on replay, hello. I need to sort myself out, basically. I need to sort myself out. I need to sort everything out, really. Oh my goodness me, my guitar has got a wig. Hello, guitar. Maybe this was my perfect person all along. A guitar with a wig. Oh, well. It's like Rod Stewart or something. That's not really. It's probably gone out of... as if it was in tune in the first place. Blech. Oh my goodness me. Yes, so I should probably... That's definitely not right, is it? It's completely out. Well, not completely. Mostly. Oh my goodness. Paint the whole world with a rainbow. Because there's nothing better than making everything pretty. Did you used to watch Rainbow when you were a kid? If you're British, you probably did. Unless you're younger than me. I don't know when Rainbow finished, but it went for quite a long time before it finished. Do you remember? It had a very terrifying bear called Bungle. A man in a bear suit. Very much like this, only gigantic. And Zippy and George. What happened to Rainbow? When did that finish? It's just like, things finished because the people that were, I think the Jeffrey from Rainbow is no longer with us, I believe, and probably none of the others. Was it Roy Skelton, who also did, I think, Dalek's voice at some point, was George and Zippy. Zippy. Zippy used to do that. I did that, and I thought, oh, that is Zippy. Why am I doing that? memory, a vague memory of Zippy, and he had like a zip. You could zip up his every time it was very much like Sesame Street on a very low budget. And Sesame Street was probably not on a massive budget anyway, but it was a very sort of like Harold Pinter does Sesame Street. Rainbow was, and it was odd. And I think did Bungle and Jeffrey share a bed? I feel that they did. I might be, and they'd wear nightcaps. It was a very strange thing. Hello, Keon. Go and look up Rainbow TV series. Now, the thing that will be coming up is something that they did. What they used to do in TV stations is a sort of like crew reel where they make the crew laugh and they do something stupid and it'd be sort of Christmas special. So what probably, if you look up Rainbow on YouTube, you'll get a very rude double entendre type thing where it's very obvious that they're really going all out to make it very, very risque indeed. But that's not generally how it was. Although there was a bit of an undercurrent anyway. Jane and Freddie probably shared a bed as well. It was a bit odd generally when you start to analyse it. But the one that you'll find on YouTube probably isn't the one that it wasn't what they showed the kids. But it started, I saw some very early episodes of Rainbow from when it first started, and it wasn't Jane and Freddie, and I don't think it was Jeffrey, but it was a very strange bungle, and the original person, it was very, very, very scary. Grand Guignol. It was all these scary puppets, which is very much like Pipkin. If you ever see Pipkin, look up that too. Hartley the Hare, who is terrifying. And Hartley the Hare used to sing a song about being Hartley the Hare, but I got it confused with Barnaby the Bear. So I thought he used to sing, Hartley the Hare's my name, never call me Jack or Jane, but that's Barnaby the Bear's my name, never call me Jack or Jane, and something like that. It's probably not the words, but Hartley the Hare never said that. Anyway, Pipkin was also absolutely terrifying, but that, very much like Sesame Street, the main person in that, who was like Mr. Hooper in Sesame Street, Mr. Pipkin, they both were deceased after the first or second series, and they had to explain to the children and the puppets what had happened. So there's I don't know whether they've repeated Sesame Street in later years or whether I'm just very old, but I do remember them telling Mr. Hooper, like possibly Big Bird, that Mr. Hooper had died and Mr. Pipkin had died as well, and a Rent-A-Ghost. I'm just going down memory lane. If you've ever seen old series of Rent-A-Ghost, which did start when I was, I mean, I shouldn't really remember Rent-A-Ghost, but I have got it on DVD, the first series, and that is also very, very much psychodrama sort of thing. It's about ghosts. It's like about a ghost that doesn't want to tell his parents that he's dead. So it's very much an allegory if he doesn't really want to come out as being a ghost. And all the ghosts are very camp. So I think there's probably something there that was subtext that probably they didn't expect little kids to pick up on. But I always did pick up on it and went, there's something else going on here that they don't really, that it's unsaid. So that it's a very, and the first series was fairly stilted, and then it got stupider and stupider. And I do remember that there was a pantomime horse. I've talked about this before. I've got deja vu of talking about this. Potty Time. Oh yes, Potty Time with Michael Benteen. Again, I think that ended when I was fairly young, but I still remember it because of repeats and stuff. But yeah, Potty Time, that was, and also Robbie's Robots. Look that up. Now I think that ended very, very, when I must have been very, very young, but I still remember it because I wanted it to come back on and it didn't come back on. Yeah, very strange TV shows on British TV. I mean, not as if, I mean, when you look at things like In the Night Garden now, it's not like they've got, and actually Teletubbies, pretty much always British children's TV and Peppa Pig, they're all quite disturbing and a little bit, what's going on? It's like they're trying to maybe hypnotize little kids into expecting dark and surreal and bizarre things happening in their life. And maybe it's just like mind control over the little kiddies by showing them the very strange undercurrents of life and strange, scary things. Like Inside Number 9 is pretty much like children's television was for the whole time I was growing up. British children's television. When we did have obviously we had Sesame Street over here because I'm mentioning Sesame Street. We had American TV shows over here too, but they were side by side with the very strange British things. I mean, you've seen Doctor Who, early days Doctor Who. You know what British TV's like. Well, imagine all of that, only weirder and very disturbing. There's very strange stuff. And I've also talked about the public information films. I think they did an Inside Number 9 based on some of the public information films. Public information films were terrifying. I remember staying home from school once and seeing Apache, and I was a very small child. I must have been tiny because I know that I saw it when we were living in a particular house that I moved from when I was 7, so it was well before that. I was ill that day and I saw it, and it's just got these kids dying in horrible farming accidents, and it's just, there's a voiceover, so you think, oh well, that one kid who's a birthday party, it's sort of framed as a birthday party, it's like that one kid must be all right, but no, he's narrating it from beyond the grave because they all went in it's very negligent parents, because every single one of those children died over the course of, it must have been a while. They couldn't have all died in the same day. But anyway, it was awful, like poison and slurry and tractors and all sorts of terrible things happening to these poor children. Obviously there's the one that everyone remembers with climbing the electric pylons for a frisbee or a kite or something. There's some doozies. And also Children of the Stones, look that up. Anyway, I've gone down a bit of a rabbit hole of children's TV now, but children's TV, that's sort of Disney 70s movies. Yes, they were. Candle Shoe. I remember seeing Candle Shoe and being very... That's, you know, because Jodie Foster is always an adult in a child's body when she's very sort of grown up and she's a bit of a role model for a lot of people, I should think. But yeah, Candle Shoe, where she's an orphan that turns out that she's somebody that she didn't think she was. Anyway, yes. And also, obviously, Escape from Witch Mountain. as my mum said, Witch Mountain? Escape from Witch Mountain, Mum. Witch Mountain? Yes! Witch Mountain! Who's on first? Escape from Witch Mountain. Exactly. Escape from Witch Mountain. Did you say that, or did I say that? Come along, the double deckers. That's another one that probably finished before I was born, but they showed some of it. Melvin Hayes was in that, wasn't he? And he was so little that I thought he was one of the kids when I was a child. They repeated that, and I saw it, and I was like, yay! And they only showed one episode because I wanted to caught the end of it. And I was like, when's that going to be on again, Mum? And my mum's like, that finished years and years ago. There's no more episodes ever. And I'm like, no! I wanted to see the double deckers. Take a ticket for a journey on the double decker bus. Theme tunes, you tell me something that I know theme tunes from way back. That's the weird thing. Theme tunes stick in my head forever. Like very minor actors. I remember, I go, oh, that's that person from that thing. I don't know their names, but I'm like, I've seen them one time before. It's like theme tunes. Diary of a Teenage Hitchhiker. Never heard of that. Gotta say, no. Didn't Marmalade Atkinson in Space, but not Diary of a Teenage Hitchhiker. Chalky. Did somebody say Chalky? I don't think I saw Chalky, but I'm very... Yes. There's an awful lot of stuff. Let's all go on a nostalgia trip. La 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 la. Which you can go on Twitter. Apparently, people are tweeting the entirety of movies and TV series in 2-minute chunks because somehow it's all gone horribly wrong and people are ignoring all the copyright restrictions. Who'd have thought things would go so horribly wrong so quickly? Apart from everybody. It doesn't take, things can be very stable for a long time. And then one tiny thing, like leaves on the line in British Railways. Leaves on the line makes everything go wrong. You've got derailments everywhere. There's a penny in the spokes. Pff, everything goes. It's like, yay, everything's working fine. Tomorrow People. There was 2 or 3. They remade Tomorrow People. I think I might have seen some of both series, but I'm, vaguely, I think I was between Tomorrow Peoples. Like the first ones were before my time and the second series was after my time. It's like, so I am aware of Tomorrow People, but I'm sort of between 2 Tomorrow Peoples, the before and afters. So Tomorrow People's not one of the Terrorvision. I do remember that. Zelda, that was disturbing. The Zelda puppet is the most disturbing thing you've ever seen. Not to be confused with the Legend of Zelda and Link and all of that. It's not that Zelda. That Zelda's like, she's got like little, there I am. I'm Zelda now. Da 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 da. I'm Zelda from the TV show. Not the TV show, the game! I'm Zelda from the TV show would be very scary and just Randall Hopkirk deceased. Da 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 da. Yeah. Oh, yeah, hang on. There's 2 Randall Hopkirks as well, so I'm just remembering the 2000s one. Dun, 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 dun. I very vaguely remember the original. But Zelda from Pet Sematary. You remember it. I remember what? I remember when. So yes, I remember a lot of things, but that's the 2000 one. That's the Vic and Bob one with Amelia Fox in it, but I've got the soundtrack album of that. Actually, it's got quite good songs on it, but the original one I'm not sure about. But yeah, they used to repeat all of that sort of thing on Channel 4, so I have seen a lot of those things in repeats or reruns. If you're an American, reruns. Anyway, maybe I'll go looking for them now. And thank you for interacting with me. I'm slightly out of the funk, little bit, still not really, but that's yes, isn't it? I think somebody gave this to me because I found it in a box of stuff that they were going to donate to a charity shop, and they donated to me. Yay! So this is a donated sweater, which I didn't realise that I had because I left it out until, how many layers? I've got a few layers. It's quite cold. I've got a blanket as well. Yeah, a lot of layers. It's cost of living. Yeah, Magic Roundabout. Magic Roundabout. Yes. I do remember it, but I can't replay it. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Magic Roundabout. I tried to watch Dougal and the Blue Cat the other day because he did have an LP that played Dougal and the Blue Cat when I was a kid, and I had memories of it, but watching it made me go, I think I've misremembered this because I think obviously having an audio version of it, they cut a lot of stuff out, and I couldn't really get through it, really. Dougal and the Blue Cat wasn't really doing it for me, but yeah, Magic Roundabout, obviously it was Eric Thompson, Emma Thompson, yeah, Eric Thompson made up his own script. He got them from France and he's like, not translating them, I'm just making it all up as I'm going along. Super Friends, don't know what Super Friends is, but I'm sure it's very good. Animaniacs. Anyway, I'm going now. That's enough of that. Yes, Dougal the dog and Florence and Zebedee and Dylan the rabbit. And yeah, and the guy that ran the carousel. Anyway, don't know what his name was. I'm going now. I've been going for a long time. You have slightly derailed me from my funk. So maybe there's life ahead of me yet. Maybe there's a way forward. Maybe I can do something, or maybe. Who knows? Anyway, I will see you next week, and maybe I'll try and make some videos. I've got all sorts of ideas. I just can't get around to I'm just like, the apathy is just a lot. Yes, thank you. I do too. Thank you very much, Philip. And I will see you next week, and have a good one, and hope everything's great for everyone. Bye, bye, bye. Ginkgo. Good idea. Bye, bye.